Hey everybody, how you going? Simon here, Crazy Ham Jazz, and I am joined by my BC buddy, Mr. Bill Mitchell, the legend that's created the greatest ham radio catalog, if you will, for everything ham radio related in the history of the world. And here he is over here. G'day, Bill.
Hey, Simon. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome, mate. And look, I'm just so enamored and in awe of what you've built here. And the word is definitely getting out about ham radio prices. And the thing that blows me away is the way that Bill
Oh,
is
go.
able to. He's getting historical data for all of these products, and it's absolutely fantastic. And Bill, the cool thing is, I see that you're able to cache all of that data, meaning that like in 6 months' time, you will have historical data for 6 months. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I think is going to be the best feature of the site. And right now, it's not that great because I've only been doing this since basically start of this year, 2025. But eventually, we will start seeing some trends, I believe, in some of the prices where they go up and down. And one thing I've noticed too is that if a price goes up and down on a radio, primarily, it seems most of the retailers do it around the same time as well. Yeah, there might not be too much of a window where you can sneak in and get a best deal from a retailer, but you might be able to eventually, with time, be able to see when a good time is to buy. So if you notice that, for example, on Black Friday every year, all the prices go down, and you're about to buy a radio and it's end of October, you might want to wait a couple of weeks for Black Friday to make that purchase. Any of the viewers are familiar with the website Camel, which is a big inspiration for hamradioprices.com. So Camel does the same thing. This is the Kenwood THD75A, which is one of the more expensive handhelds out in the market, but it's really sought after because of the APRS capability. So here you can see the current prices at some of the retailers that I have on the site. And then below is a price history graph. So I've been tracking this one since December 18th, 2024. And you notice some of the lines on the graph don't start till a bit after. And that's just because this is when the site first started and I only had Ham Radio Outlet listed, and then I started adding some other retailers. So now we're starting to see a bit of a price history of the radio. So if you were going to go buy this right now, it looks like it's probably a decent time to buy because you can see the trend of the graph is going down. So a few weeks ago is around the $700 mark, and now you can get it for about $100 cheaper at some of the retailers.
And Bill, I've got to say, for people that wear glasses like me and people that are slightly visually impaired, having that little insert window or inset window is fabulous.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm getting to that age too, Simon. So, and if you click, you can toggle the retailer. So if you're just interested in DX engineering, for example, you can click those and they disappear. So you can just see the trend graph for one.
Yeah, right. Like, so let's say you're in Portland, Oregon, and then the nearest store is what, HRO. So then you just sort of say, okay, what are HRO? What's their pricing right now?
Yeah, there you go. So there's just Ham Radio Outlets trend on the
right. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, and then from there, so I think the main feature that people are going to use right now is people who are in the market for a radio. So you can search here for one. So if you know you're wanting to get a ICOM 7300, you could just type that in, and you're going to see it here, and click on there, and you're going to be presented with the same page that we were just on.
Well, let's have a look at that. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Woo!
You might recognize this video down here. So I'm trying to add some videos for the various radios. So if you're in the market for this and you say, okay, well, here, let me go check out what Simon has to say about the 7300. And it's great. And then if you're logged in, you can add it to your wish list. So you can see currently 14 users have added this to their wish list. And I just implemented it this week. So if you have a radio that's on your wish list and the price drops, you'll get an email notification when that happens. So if you're in the market for a 7300, what I would suggest doing is adding it to your wish list. And when that price drops, you'll get an email telling you which retailers have dropped the price and what the new price is. So you can go in and grab it while it's on.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah. And there's, you can also, if you're logged in, you can add a rating. So you can, it's in beta right now, but you can give it a star rating out of 5. So hopefully the idea is eventually a lot of people will rate these radios and you can see what the highest rated ones are. But yeah, the wish list and the price notification will work for anything. Even if you're in the market for a Baofeng And in this day and
Good.
age with the
Okay.
economy the way it is, saving $1 is $1. So you'll get that notification if it drops by anything.
Are you doing any radios out of the ham bands yet, Bill?
I don't think there is any, but I think I probably will add it because I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of questions about it.
Yep.
And that actually leads me to a good point. If we go into radios, you can quickly go to one of the categories. But if you go to all radios, oh yeah, I do have a few. So at first I wasn't sure if I should add them because it's ham specific, but it's easy enough to filter what you're looking for. So if you are looking for FRS radio, for example, you can click on that FRS tag, and it'll show you all the radios for that. If you're looking for, let's say you're looking for a handheld HT and you want to make sure it has APRS built in, it's going to show you all those.
Wow.
And then you can even sort them. So I want to see what the lowest price APRS radio out there is. So it's this Vero VRN75 right, at the moment is the lowest priced APRS capable radio out of all the retailers.
That's fantastic, mate. That's absolutely fantastic. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is totally dynamic. So how often are the prices updating on your website, Bill?
They update once a night. So in the middle of the night, it'll fetch all the up-to-date prices.
Wonderful. And so basically just radios at this stage, mate?
No, I've recently added antennas and batteries. So there's not as radios is the bulk of the site at this point. I think there's nearly 200 different radios. Antennas I've just recently added. So I think the only two I have on there right now are the K6 ARK portable antenna kits, which are great for doing parks on the air and summits down the air or anything else really. And then alpha antenna as well.
Nice.
And you'll notice that the tags you're filtering are a little bit different because it's a completely different category. So if you're looking for a dipole, for example, you can click on that. It'll show you just the dipole antennas. And then as recently as a few days ago, I added batteries to the site. So that's
great.
Definitely something you need if you're doing parks on the air, summits on the air. Currently, I think there's just two retailers, the Watt Cycle family of batteries and Dakota Lithium,
yes,
both of which you and I are very familiar with.
Yep.
And again, the tags are going to be a little bit different. So I think they're all 12 volts. So you want a 12 volt battery, and let's say you want a 100 amp hour. So here's all the 100 amp hour batteries that you can choose from and see the prices of them.
Wow. Now, Bill, is everything quoted in US dollars?
Yes, it is. So I started with US dollars because that's where, as far as I know, the bulk of the retailers are. I know there's a couple Canadian retailers, there's a few in Australia and the UK, but I think the bulk of them and the most popular ones are in the US. So I started with that. I think eventually I will add some of the other retailers outside of the US. But there is a bit of a difficulty with that because then I might have to do the currency conversion. But what I might do is just, let's say I pick a retailer in Canada, I might just put the equivalent US dollar price in here and then have everything in US dollars. And then if you are a Canadian or somewhere else, I might have a button where you can switch it to Canadian just to give you an estimate of what the Canadian price will be. But I don't want to become
the caveat of that, guys, everybody watching, is that Bill is not responsible if there's a price discrepancy. He's just doing a direct conversion, right? So
yeah, I'm just doing the best I can to provide the most up-to-date price. So yeah, I don't want to become a currency conversion service. But even with the US dollar, you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be in Canadian or pounds, wherever you happen to be.
what sort of traffic are you generating right now, Bill?
Let me have a look. I'm getting probably around 200 unique visitors a day.
Wow.
And it's just
growing.
Up.
So there you go, guys. So that's 6,000. So there you go. That rough numbers, that's 6,000 a month. So already you're close to what, 75, 80,000 in a year. So sponsors, contact Bill directly. I think it'd be an ideal opportunity before he grows too big, because it's just a matter of time to get your logo on Bill's website. Because I know that if I was a If I was a supplier of these lines, I'd be wanting to lock it in and secure it today.
I have an exclusive for you, Simon, something I just added today that
Yeah.
not many people have seen yet. So I've added a new tools section. If we go in there, I've added a dipole calculator. So I plan on
Yes.
adding
Awesome.
a few tools. So if you're looking to build a dipole and you want to do FT8, for example, you put in 14074, which I think is the frequency. And then it's going to give you, here's the total antenna length, and then each leg of the dipole. And then...
Oh, Bill, you've done it. I was going to ask, I didn't want to be a pain in the butt, but I was going to ask for all of our friends in Europe and Australia. Yes, you got metrics. So you've got all of the different measurements. Fabulous.
I can put anything in there if they want to measure it in Baofeng length. How many Baofengs long is it?
That's fabulous. What are you working on over the next few weeks for your website?
Well, I definitely want to add more antennas and more batteries. So if anyone out there is an antenna manufacturer, or even, it doesn't have to be a big one, because I have K6 ARK's antennas kits, which I love. So if you're another ham, you're just doing kits on the side and you have an Etsy store or something like that, let me know. I'd love to add your stuff to my site. Batteries as well. I want to flesh out the batteries a little bit more. I want to add some more tools. One that I'm hoping to add, I don't want to promise anything at this point, but I want to make a QSO mapper, so you can upload your logs and get a nice looking map with your QSO contacts and be able to customize it the way you want. I've had a lot of requests for more filtering, so I would probably do that. That's probably my next project. Is, so for example, on the radios, if you could sort this, let's say you're looking for an HF radio and you want to be able to sort it by the amount of power it gives out. So if I did low to high, you'd have the 5-watt QRP radios, and then like a Zygu G90 at 20 watts, and then you have like the 7300 and Yaesu FT891 at 100, and then beyond that. Yep. I'm up for adding, if it's possible, I would love to add it. So I really want to hear from the community. If anyone out there watching has feature ideas or suggestions, I'm all ears. You can contact me on here easily. There's a contact form right here. Leave a comment on this video. I'm up for anything. As long as it's not nearly impossible to do. If it's something I can do and it's within the time frame I can do it, I will definitely add it to the site. You can fill out the contact sheet there. You can also follow me on Twitter or on Facebook and send me a message there. There's lots of ways to get in touch.
So tell us a bit about exposure you've had so far. I think Mr. Mud Wes did a video.
Yeah, he did.
Promoting. And same with Josh, Ham Radio Crash Course.
Yeah, I think the first one to do a video was Frank, our good friend Frank down in California. So I was on his live stream a few weeks ago. And then Josh from Ham Radio Crash Course did a feature on it. And that definitely helped out with getting a lot of exposure. And Mr. Mudd, appreciate his video as well. And then you. My hypothesis was that something like this was needed in the community. And I think I've proven that right based on the feedback that I've received from people.
Well, it's absolutely fantastic because it's a complete bipartisan service that you're offering, and it's a one-click present, i.e. here's everything right at your fingertips with one click. You know, so with everybody out there in the ham radio world, we all need to get behind this, and this is the place to be. I love it, Bill. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm able to help and doing a service to the community.
All right, mate. Any last words before we wrap this up?
No, just thanks again for having me, and I hope people enjoy the site and feel free to contact me with any feedback or ideas.